Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Scars Busch League on the Scars Broadcasting Network. I'm your host, Eddie Smith, and boy, I'm ready to go tonight as we get ready to finish off this championship as we are coming down to the wire. The last race here at Auto Club Speedway, and it's going to be a battle to the end here as we are on our last race of the season. We are in a race for the championship as both Lee Dawson, John Honecker, both with one win on the season, are still in the fight for the championship. The only two that are able to actually get it done just mathematically tonight. So really going to be excited to see how this goes. Right now, John Honecker has a 6-point lead over Lee Dawson, and so Lee will be fighting hard to get up there and get that win and lead as many laps as he possibly can, and be able to, if he's even racing, I'm not real sure. I'll have to check and make sure. Um, a little bit on deck, but if so, it's going to be really exciting as 6 points separate them, and there are currently 16 people in the race, and that could be enough to make it happen. So, as we look at the info tonight, we're calling it the finale 150 as qualifying's underway right now, and trying to get ready to set this grid. Even though the championship is down to two drivers, um, then it's still going to be an exciting race with a lot of really fast guys and some new guys who are going to come and show off their skills and show off what they got on this final race. So, getting really excited. Let's go ahead and bring in John Honecker and just see what his thoughts are on the race tonight as he is getting ready to try to win this championship. Hey, John, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, Eddie, I got you.
Hey, so I don't know what's going on, but you're fighting Lee for the championship. Is Lee going to be able to make the race tonight?
He is in here, yes.
Is he going to race?
I do not know, but for what it's worth, I don't think he can. I don't think he can beat me for the championship, even if he were to score the most amount of points he can.
Okay. Well, that's good news. News to me. I thought you guys were in the fight for the championship. Well,
Eh,
congratulations.
yeah, I mean, we might be. It's really close.
Yeah, the last thing I have on the standings shows 6 point differential. So I don't know if that has changed. I don't know if the drop weeks will change that at all. But either way, it should be a good race. So how you feeling about tonight as you go in and try to get this championship?
We'll see. I haven't run all that many laps. The track seems to allow you to race kind of all over it. I'll give you the heads up. I know we're on the broadcast, but I did give everybody unlimited tires because I didn't do that right setting up the server. So you will see people probably taking tires every pit stop.
Cool. Well, shouldn't change too much as we usually go green quite a bit. So
Yep.
probably won't make a huge difference at all. Well, anyway, well thanks for talking to us and good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Let's see if Lee is on the headset. Lee, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
What's up, Eddie?
Lee, are you gonna be able to race tonight?
I am. I don't
Man,
know how I'll be, but I'll be there.
what's that?
So I'm not sure how good I'll be, but I will be on the track.
Well, John said that you didn't think you were mathematically able to beat him for the championship tonight. As far as I see, you're 6 point out, and for the broadcast, we'll pretend that you're 6 points behind John. I will have to go and get something official later. But I mean, what are your thoughts going into this race? Are you feeling good about it? You think you can get this victory?
I mean, I've been under the weather all week. I hadn't really done any practice, so I have run here a lot. So we'll see. See if maybe he gets caught up in something, and I can work my way to the front. But we'll see. It's always a chance.
Well, man, hey, look, take yourself back to the flu game of Michael Jordan, and you've been sort of the Michael Jordan of this series this year. You've really shown a lot of progress and shown that you've got a lot of speed and you've improved a ton. Probably the most improved driver in the series. And so here you are fighting for the championship. So think back to that flu game, man. Dig deep, and I wish you well tonight.
Appreciate it, buddy. We'll try to make
Thanks.
it exciting for you.
Well, there you have it. That's our 2 points leaders. Like I said, there's some conflicting reports on the points, so I apologize about that. But I think based on the points that I have, and like I said for the broadcast, we'll just pretend they're 6 points away because that's the last total I have. So, and we'll get you a complete total after the race is over and get a final winner, and just to make sure what the final standings are going to be. But it looks like we're getting gridded up now, and let's go ahead and go through that grid as we're before we get out on track and I get behind. Looks like the pole was taken almost by a whole tenth by Jonah Colbert in the 31 machine. He qualifies with a 41.241. Scott Tompkins on the outside of front row. Second row is going to be Justin Diaz and Daniel Rowe. Third row, Kevin LePerrier. And newcomer Chris Bowler, or Bowler, or Bowler. Hey, you know what? Let me know after the race. Sorry for butchering your name. Alan Smith starting 7th with a great qualifying effort. Jason Raychok, glad to have him back in 8th. Max Crowther. Hey, look, I'm doing the best I can here. A couple new guys. This is the second one, who is starting 9th. What a good effort from him on his first race. Nick Passmore, glad to have him back as well. Really awesome guy. Really glad to see him back on the track. Starting 11th. Scott Sindel, the better Scott, starting 12th. Philip Nugent starting 13th. John Honecker starting 14th. Lee Dawson starting 15th, and James Danford starting 16th. So both of our points leaders electing to not take a qualifying effort, as we've got somebody stuck on pits, somebody looking at their phone, texting, sending out a couple tweets. Who is that? Who's stuck on pit road? Well, it looks like Nick Passmore was taking a break, a little smoke break there, but he's gotten his car going. As we are getting ready to get this race underway. 75 laps, so it's a 2-mile racetrack, so 75 laps is a lot of laps. It doesn't seem like it is, but it definitely will definitely stretch the distance of our normal races. About 150 miles. We normally run anywhere between, I'd say about 125 and 150, so on the longer side, but really excited to see what these cars, these Xfinity cars at Auto Club, always put on a good show. And so I'm really excited to get this going. Like I said, the storylines of the race are John Honecker and Lee Dawson as they try to settle who is going to be the champion. But right now, up front, we have Jonah Colbert and Scott Tompkins getting ready to lead us to green as we get ready to get this race underway. The finale of the Busch Series. What a great season it's been. Very, very excited to get this last race in. Pace car comes off the racetrack.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is in the air, and we are green, and Jonah Colbert gets a really, really good start. A little bit of tire spin out of Scott Tompkins. Jonah Colbert able to get up in front of him and clear him going down into the first turn. He'll have that nice arc. Justin Diaz starting third has moved up to second, gets past Scott Tompkins. As you see, man, they are fanning out all over this track as you're able to use the high line, middle line, low line, whatever you want to be able to make passes. And like we've seen in a lot of tracks before, the high line is, I don't want to give too much away, but the high line is one of those things where it's going to be a little bit of a bait. We got Scott Sindel around, gets a little bit sideways, but he's able to trying to save it. He does. He gets a little spin, but he's able to get it back going, no damage. So we stay back racing as we go back to the front. The bottom line is going to be the prevailing line as the tires start to wear out. That top line is available to make passes, so you'll see a lot of guys go up there, get around somebody, keep that run up, but you have to be careful that you do not wear the tires out because that's exactly what is going to happen. So Jonah Colbert out to an early lead, able to get a little bit of a gap on Justin Diaz, as Scott Tompkins is now looking to the inside of Justin, trying to get a run on him to get second place back. Go down to the front straightaway. Justin Diaz drops down, trying to defend that bottom line so Scott can't get that draft and get under him going into one. Because you can have this just revolving door of, you pass me, I'll pass you over and over again, and you'll watch the leader sail off into the distance. So as we see Scott Tompkins is going to look on the inside of Justin Diaz, but Justin gets that nice run off the turn, is able to clear him, and now Scott is becoming under fire from Daniel Rowe as he is starting to look to the outside of Scott Tompkins. Really great start so far. As we see all over the field, we got a couple guys in the wall with Alan Smith and the 57 car of Chris Bowler. Both tagged the wall just a little bit. They're getting up into the marbles. Not enough grip up there yet. Get a little slide and tag the wall, but they keep going. Doesn't seem to be too much damage. Just have to be careful and try to give that wall a little bit of room as you go under it. As you see Chris Bowler, no fear, going right back at it as he's starting to drop back a few positions, though. Really great race, as we were going to call this one the Lee Dawson Flu race, and see how he's able to get up through the field. Him and John Honeck are both starting in the back. So we'll see who can navigate the field the best and get up towards the front. Really great track. Auto Club, Homestead, Atlanta, these tracks that have that sort of like a EPJ1 that they've gotten on the outside to be able to use that outside and get speed. Back in the day, the outside was unfortunately just always the slow line. Just never could get enough run. The lap times were just not competitive. So after the update that they did, this track has become just a blast. I'm sorry about the silence, but I'm trying to figure out why I'm not getting any sound out of the game. So we'll keep looking into that as we're watching the racing. We'll check up front as Jonah Colbert has checked out with Scott Tompkins behind him. Justin Diaz not too far back as these guys are maintaining the top five here with Jonah Colbert, Scott Tompkins, Justin Diaz, Daniel Rowe, and Kevin LaPerriere all holding on to the top five. Well, all right. Well, I'm sorry about that technical difficulty. We're just going to make a new audio stream, and now it should have audio coming through. Sorry about that. And those car sounds. And hey, you know what? In honor of getting that figured out, let's go pump it up just a little bit. Let's hear these cars go around this track. All right, as we're on lap 10 of 75, not much has changed. Justin Diaz fell back a little bit. He's fallen into the clutches of Jason Raychalk as seems to be having some sort of issue. Maybe the tire's starting to wear a little bit, or not really sure what's going on. Just maybe just a little bit of fall off. Of course, right behind Justin and Jason running in the 6, you've got Lee Dawson and John Honecker running right next to each other as they make their way up to the field, already up to 7th and 8th as they continue their trek towards the front. Being able to get to the front here is going to be important to get that clean air, but also it's going to be tough on them because they're going to be behind as far as in the tire department. As starting in the back is going to be tough. John's fine if we're assuming that 6 points is the real gap, but Lee needs to be up there leading laps. So starting in the back may be a bad thing for him, but we're not racing for money. We're just racing for bragging rights. We just do this for fun. So I'm sure Lee will be just fine. But nonetheless, we are trying to. These guys are trying to get up through the field. You see Lee Dawson making a move on Justin Diaz. Justin Diaz may have a little bit of damage on that right front. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it looks like his right side is flapping a little bit. So looks like he had some contact with the wall. Now John Honecker, Lee Dawson up to 6th and 7th as they're making their way. Check back in with our leader, Jonah Colbert, as he has about an 8/10 lead over Scott Tompkins, so not getting away, not pulling away, but just a steady pace. As Scott was about a 10th faster that last lap. Jonah ran a 42.3, Scott ran a 42.2, so Scott is gaining just a little bit, starting to run down our leader, Jonah Colbert. We'll go back in and check on Justin Diaz as he is still struggling with that damage. Just needs a caution or go ahead and get to the pit stops and get that damage fixed because he is falling like a rock after running in second at one point. So tough deal for him is Steve McDonald's all over his back bumper running that high line. Looks like Steve's going to be able to get up under him as well. Check in on Scott Sindel. He is, he's a little bit behind as far as track position. You see he's about a straightaway away from the front of the field after having that self-spin, so he definitely wants a caution. Check in on Nick Passmore as he is making his return. Dropped about four spots since the beginning of the race, but trying to knock that rust off, get back into a groove, and I expect to see him come back up to the field as he gets everything recalibrated. Chris Bowler, who had a really good starting spot, we saw him getting way out of the groove and getting to the wall just a little bit. So I don't know if he's got a little bit of damage or he is just falling off the pace tire-wise. Him and Alan Smith were both the ones tagging that wall, so they may just be taking it a little bit easy. James Danford, see him witnessing this battle between Justin and Phillip. You see Justin just like a parachute out the back. Guys are just driving right by him, so he is definitely wanting a caution. But James Stanford having a really nice run so far, up 5 spots. If he completes his pass on Justin Diaz, Justin slides up just a little bit, but plenty of room at this track to give each other plenty of space, and that's exactly what Justin does. Right in front of him is Philip Nugent, who is up 3 spots since where we started. Steve McDonald having a really nice battle here with Max Crowther as he goes down to the bottom, and he's going to attempt the slide job, but Max not having none of it. Going to go to the outside and prevent Steve from getting that run off the corner, so Steve's going to have to drop back behind him Really good effort. Almost completed the slide job. Just it looks like Steve, not the type of person just to run over somebody. So he gave him a little bit of room, and Max stuck that nose back in there, and he still holds on to that 8th position. Go check up here in our 2nd place. Check on the lead, see what the interval looks like, and it's holding steady. Jonah Colbert just a little bit faster that lap. It's about half a second now, but doesn't seem to be anybody running away with it. Great run by Kevin LePerrier, who is putting down some really good lap times. My man's got a new dash, it seems like, as he's running up in the 3rd place, having a hell of a run. So what a great run in that Whataburger Ford Mustang. As you see on the right side of the screen, Jason Raychott, John Honaker coming into the picture along with Lee Dawson and Daniel Rowe is the first 3 that I mentioned are definitely on the move. They are headed towards the front as we see a battle for the lead here. I don't know what happened to Jonah. Jonah maybe had the lift or something, but all of a sudden, Scott Tompkins putting a little pressure on our leader, Jonah Colbert, as they go down the backstretch heading into turn 3. Jonah may be starting to fade just a little bit as Scott's really starting to put the pressure on as we're almost 20 laps into this race. So tire wear is going to definitely become more and more of an issue. You see Scott getting a little high there as he gets on the back bumper of Jonah Colbert. That arrow starts to become really a huge factor in the ability to pass and not pass. So Jonah is going to use that to an advantage and try to take away Scott's lane, try to protect that lead. You see Scott's getting a really, really good run, hooking those left sides on that bottom seam, able to get a little bit of speed. Jonah gets a little bit better run off that corner. Looks like Scott got a little sideways. That's the thing about the bottom. You have to be careful that when you get back on the gas, it does rotate really well, but it can over-rotate when you come off the corner. So Scott's going to have to be careful with that as he makes another run towards Jonah. As we have a battle back here for 3rd place, though. Jason Raychok all over the back bumper of Kevin LePerrier as they are trying to get around him. There's all kinds of battles going on right now on the track as we watch this battle for 3rd place. As you see the battle up there outside of Raychok's window, the battle for 1st is starting to heat up as well. It's Scott was looking on the inside. Now Jason's looking on the inside of Kevin. John Honaker also there trying to take advantage of that, and he is. He's going to take the outside of Jason Raychok, who was trying to make a pass on the bottom, but the outside is going to prevail there. So move John up 10 spots up to 4th place, as he is definitely a man on the mission, trying to get up to the front, get that lap lead, secure this championship, and take season 6 of Scars and take the championship. John trying to get a run on the inside, just so tough. And now Jason's going to repay the favor, going to get behind Kevin and block that outside line. He's going to go around him. So Kevin doing a great job of holding these guys off. These guys are ready to pounce, trying. And Raychok's going to dive down to the bottom and try for a slide job. And he is actually going to complete it. What a great move by Jason Raychok. That was impressive, as Kevin had done such a great job so far of holding these guys off. But Jason doing a really smart move and trying to get down to the inside of him, but also be able to clear him before the corner exit, where that exit speed means so much. So put Jason Raychok up to 3rd place. Great run, up 5 spots. As Kevin LePerrier gets into the wall a little bit, and that's going to let a whole train of cars by John Honaker, Lee Dawson, both able to get around him as we start to see the cream rise to the top for sure, as these guys are really starting to move their way up towards the front. Check in with the lead and see Scott Tompkins hitting that arrow wall, hitting that bubble, not able to make any kind of gains on Jonah. As we try to watch him try to make some progress here as he's down on the bottom trying to find that grip in the middle of the corner. But it's going to be difficult, and at this point with the tires, trying to get under somebody, it's going to be almost impossible. Raychuk showing you, giving you a master class on how to make the passes at this point. But Jonah going to guard the middle lane. That way, he always going to get the best run. Scott has to use the full track. When you use the bottom, it's just as fast, but you have to use the whole track. You cannot come off low, or you really scrub speed off, and that top line is going to prevail. So, but definitely not a boring race so far as we check into the battle of third places. And honestly, it's becoming a battle for the lead. we are seeing everybody start to run down this front two as Jason Raychuk is making up a ton of time. John Honecker, Jason Raychuk, the fastest cars on the track that last lap, a good 2/10 faster than our leader, so they are making up a ton of ground as Jonah is starting to fade just a little bit. But what that does just gets everybody bunched up, and we get to have some good racing as we check in on Lee Dawson, our second place in the championship standings. He is about half a second away from John Honecker, just staying in the hunt, keeping him in the front mirror. As the battle right now, though, is this top four. Scott Tompkins starting to sweat a little bit as he has gotten up to the back bumper a couple times to Jonah, but not able to complete the pass. But he is seeing his rearview mirror filled up with Jason Raychuk, and it's going to be important that he manages how he makes these attempts for passes. It's going to be extremely difficult for Scott Tompkins. Love this camera. It really shows you how the race is going. You really see what. There we go, much better. Now we can see what Scott Tompkins is. When he looks in the rearview mirror, what does he see? He sees these hungry hippos coming after him. These guys started quite a few positions back. Jason Raychuk 5 spots, starting 8. John Lee started in 14, 15. These guys are on a mission. You see Jason moving into the field, looking down to the inside, getting ready to make it. As these guys start to get up here to the leader and get kind of stuck in that arrow, it's starting to bring everybody in. Lee Dawson's been able to catch back up. As we see a pass for the lead, as Scott's going to go and try to make it, but you see that bottom line is just not working right now, and he's got to be careful. He cannot, if he makes a mistake and makes the move at the wrong time, Jason Raychuk will be there to take advantage of it. And you see Scott, a little bit of desperation attempt there to try to get past Jonah Colbert, and it may end up losing him second place, as it does. Jason Raychuk able to complete that pass on the bottom as Scott gets has a little bit less speed coming off the corner, but he's going to attempt to try to get it back. As boy, this front pack is really heating up as we see a 5-way battle for the lead. This is what I've been looking for. I'm enjoying this. I know there's battles going on in other parts of the track, and we'll get to that. We'll get everybody some camera time. But right now, this lead, I cannot look away from it. There's so much so many storylines to go over here. The newcomer, the new guy, Jason Raychuk, up here mixing it up with the veterans. The points leaders at the back of this pack. Jonah Colbert, who's been a factor every week. Scott Tompkins, who is an extremely improved driver, who has shown a lot of speed, has put in a lot of work. As he dives down to the bottom, going to try to make a move on Jason Raychuk. Now, going to be hard to do a slide job as I I shouldn't have said that. He does a perfect slide job, able to complete that pass on Jason Raychalk. Jason goes back to the inside, going to try to clear him as well. Let's see if Scott's able to hold it. He is. He drives deep down in the corner, trying to make sure Jason's not able to complete that slide job. Looks like Scott's going to have the preferred lane if he stays out of the wall. And you see, oh, he's getting really tight. Has to get out of it. Jason's going to get a little bit of run. And while that happens, John Honaker, Lee Dawson, all over the back bumper of Scott Tompkins on the outside. You can tell the right front of Scott Tompkins starting to fade a little bit. Wasn't able to get the run off the corner. Had to lift. John Honaker puts his car in the middle, trying to take it 3 wide. He is on the outside of Jason Raychalk, not quite to Scott's left rear quarter panel, but great racing. Oh my goodness, this is a blast. As we watch these guys try to figure out a way behind, oh my goodness, Scott Tompkins tries to send it in the corner for some reason. Just getting a little impatient. He's going to try to stick it to the outside of Jonah. Not quite there yet. He's going to look down to the inside and almost self-clears himself across the bumper of John Honaker. As we are battling, Scott Tompkins is going to have a little bit of position going into 1 and 2. Had a nice run, but I think we're going to see Scott Tompkins is going to have to get out of it quite a bit, and he's going to lose a lot of position. He's going to lose all 3 or 4 of these positions for sure from that little slide, having to get out of the gas. As Jason Raychalk going to get to his outside. John Honaker going for the lead here as they kind of go down in the corner. May have tagged Jonah just a little bit. But I don't see a whole lot of contact. I think it was just really close. As we see Justin Diaz coming in the picture, he has already made his pit stop, so he's coming through on fresh tires. Excuse me, guys, get out of the way. I know y'all are racing for the win, but I'm also racing for a win as well, so I'm going to put my nose in here, take y'all 3 wide. I'm going trying to get my lap back, so I would not expect anything less from anybody. Because this race ain't over. It ain't the last 10 laps. We are just over halfway, and Justin is fighting to get back on the lead lap so he can, as Lee Dawson almost goes 3 wide here. Wow, this is fantastic racing these guys are putting on. These guys would be smart to just go ahead and let Diaz go. Let him go up there and put a little pressure on John, give you an opportunity to try to get back to John Honaker as he has taken over the lead and is starting to pull away from the pack just a little bit. So fantastic last 10 to 15 laps as we've got a lot of people going into pits. We've got Max Crowther, Chris Bowler, both going into pits. So they are electing to go ahead and make their pit stops, which is, I expect these leaders to do the same. Jonah Colbert, those who are starting to fade a little bit, take a playbook away from Justin Diaz and go ahead and come in and get your tires and get that advantage back. And Jonah Colbert is our first leader of the race, who led the majority of this race up until the last few laps. He's coming down pit road, going to get his 4 tires as we're halfway through. See if he can't come out, make a little bit of ground, get that lead back. I would expect these guys seeing Jonah go down pit road will be following him almost immediately. So we'll see what these guys decide to do. As John Honaker goes through 3 and 4, will he pit or will he stay out? What will be the plan here? I would expect all of them to come down pit road this time by, and they don't. All 4 of them stay out on track. Jonah Colbert going to have, as he comes off pit road, assuming he hasn't had any issues, which I don't, I'm not really sure. You see the leaders going back by. This is a long, a really large track. I'm not really sure he should have gone a lap down there, but, I'm not real sure about the timing, but he's going to come out with fresh tires and be able to run these guys right back down, as the tires are going to be extremely, be really good. And here we go. We've got John Honaker, Jason Raychalk, and Scott Tompkins all coming down pit road. You see James Stanford in the back, Philip Nugent also coming down to get their 4 tires. Philip Nugent, made up quite a bit of time there getting on the pit road. It's a great entry for him, as he had made up a lot of time while these guys were fighting. They're coming down pit road to get their 4 tires. Our lead gets turned over to Lee Dawson as he stays out, obviously to get that point that could be so important depending on what happens. Staying out, getting that lap led could be all the difference in if John has an issue and finishes 6 spots behind him. If he gets that point, he can be 5 spots behind him. So it's all important to get those bonus points. And so he surrenders the lead over to Daniel Rowe, who takes over as he tries to make the best of the situation, hope for a caution. Steve McDonald right behind him, also staying out, trying to get a little bit of track position, hope to trap a couple of these guys a lap down. As oh my goodness, and Justin Diaz spinning out. Oh my goodness, what's going on? I don't know if it was 2 tires or what was going on, but my goodness. Just seeing the new tires, maybe guys just weren't ready for it, but Justin Diaz, John Honecker, and Jason Raychok all having issues spinning out. My goodness, I don't know what in the world happened there. Let's go back and let's go look at Justin Diaz's camera as we see he's already spinning out. Let's go ahead and back this up and see if he did the same thing. You see, he just gets loose off the corner, and he actually gets stuck in the wall, which is that's such a bummer. I wish iRacing needs to fix that. That's been a thing that's happened way too often, is he has to take a tow. He can't go in and get a fast repair because he is stuck in the wall. So really, really bum deal for him. I really hate that. That's so frustrating when that happens. But man, what a turn of events. Justin definitely came out on the worst end of that. Jason and John both spinning out. They didn't hit anything. John was able to get back going. It didn't like he really spun his tires at all. Jason Raychok does get a good slide, but he's going to go down pit road and get his tires. They have unlimited tires tonight, so there's no reason to not come in, especially if you're at the back, get 4 fresh tires and get that advantage, as pretty much everybody's coming down pit road. Jonah Colbert, after being out there, I think he was going to be in a great spot had that caution not come out. He had a pretty nice lead over everybody else, but the definite winners are going to be Daniel Rowe, Steve McDonald. Those who had stayed out got a really nice caution for them, going to get them some valuable track position. And it looks like Lee Dawson also electing to stay out after he had just pitted. So some good fortune for some, bad fortune for others. Is John Honecker is going to be behind the 8 ball just a little bit. As we see, the point swing could be a big difference with this, but John Honecker's already started in the back and moved himself up to the front, so I expect him to be able to do that again. As we are under caution on lap 41 after a synchronized spinning by John Honecker, Jason Raychok, and Justin Diaz also getting loose, hitting the wall. So, the tire difference, you can see how big a difference it makes whenever you go into pits and you're on a long run, you're really tight, you're having to put a whole lot of wheel in it. You're able to really get on the gas, and you put those new tires on, and all of a sudden you got way too much grip. You're just not expecting it. I think that may be what happened. Or somebody threw out some banana peels. I don't know if Lee Dawson's got some bananas that he got, and he's throwing them out the back end. I'm not real sure, but either way, it brings out our first caution after 42 laps of green flag racing. Max Crowther, and I'm sorry, man, if I'm butchering your name, but he is in the lead pitted on lap 34, so his tires are not that old. Hasn't been a front runner, has been sort of behind the, about midfield most of the race. So we'll see how much he's been holding back and how much speed he actually has as we get ready to go. He's got a whole group of guys with brand new tires on, so he's going to have to get with it if he wants to get out to the lead and hold on to that. As Lee Dawson definitely would like to get up there and start to lead some laps, take control of this race. Lights on the pace car are off, so Max is going to have control of the restart, and he gets a great restart. Huge jump. Going to leave Dawson sort of in the dust a little bit, but we'll see as we go down to the first turn how big of an advantage these tires that Lee has is going to be. And wow, you see right in the middle of that turn, Lee gets a massive run on the outside of Max. Is going to go up there and just take this lead. There's going to be little that Max can do about this as Lee has made his way up to the front. Max going to fight back a little bit, but those new tires are going to make all the difference right in the middle of that turn. So Max is going to be in a world of hurt. You see Jonah Colbert, Steve McDonald, gets a little bit loose, able to hang on to it, no contact as guys are fighting and jockeying for position. You see Scott Tompkins all over the back bumper as Jonah Colbert is under Daniel Rowe for third place. All these guys have brand new tires, so they are all on the same footing. You see Philip Nugent coming into the picture there. See Scott Tompkins trying to make a ton of time up on the entry of the corner. Really puts a lot of pressure on that right front. He has to be careful. That will start to really hurt him if he's not careful. Rowe on the back bumper entering the corner on Max. Max doing a great job of holding on with those older tires. Only 5 or 6 laps older as, oh my goodness. Daniel was coming, but he hadn't even gotten to the outside of Max yet. So Daniel gets into the wall a little bit. That's going to bring Jonah Colbert up on the inside as Jonah's going to need to take advantage of this. Try to get a couple spots in one. As Jonah will at least be able to clear Daniel. Oh, and he gets a little bit loose. Daniel has to check up, jump to the outside. Jonah's in trouble as he is losing momentum, and these guys behind him are on their way. So somebody's going to have to make a move here as they are trying to get around Max, who is doing a great job. I would assume he would go back a little bit quicker on those older tires. It looks like we're going to have a 3-wide situation as Daniel again tries to put that. Oh, my goodness, and he gets into an accident. Gets into the back of Max, and oh my goodness, points leader John Honecker spinning around as we have a major accident as big players having issues after that incident. Caution is out. We'll go back and look at that and see exactly what happened. We know what happened. Daniel trying to get to the outside and just wasn't there yet, or Max just closed the door, and it's just a melee after that as Daniel, Scott Tompkins, John Honecker, and Max all go kind of spinning. Let's watch this from the far chase cam, and let's see if we can see exactly what happened. We'll rewind this a little bit. We see Daniel trying to get that run. He is there. He's on the outside. Max, well, it was just honestly, it looks like a racing incident. Max is going to go for that slide job, get up in front of Daniel, and Daniel not willing to lift at that point and gets a little bump, and fortunately, it takes out him and Max, and along with John Honecker and Scott Tompkins. So, a big game changer there. I mean, if the points is what it shows in the standings, this could be a big deal as we see those guys coming down pit road under this caution, as pretty much everybody will. I'm pretty sure I don't think anything has changed about the fast repairs. They should have one fast repair. We'll see as soon as John hits the pit road if he's able to get that car fixed. I'm not real sure if there's a visual bug or if he's already used his fast repair. Maybe accidentally. I don't know if he's gotten into any kind of issues, but John Honecker, after that pit stop, still missing his whole front bumper. I would bring him in here, but I don't know what kind of, I don't know how upset he might be, so I don't want to bring him here and ask him, but he is still missing his whole front end unless that's just a visual bug. We may have a big issue with John Honecker, our points leader, as Lee Dawson, second place, is still in 13th. So, excuse me, in third. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what transpires. Going back to that wreck, I don't really have anybody at fault. There was just really hard racing, and Max had the position, and yeah, Daniel was trying to get that nose in there, but at the last second, it looks like Max is just going to try to slide up in front of him and just make contact. So it's hard to really say, who was at fault there. You see our wave around drivers. There's Bowler and Scott Summer. Get side by side, one to green. Get ready to get this race back going, as we are gonna go green on lap 50. That's gonna give us 25 laps of racing still to go. And look back to John Honecker, and he goes down and gets his fast repair. He must have had it unchecked the first time, so I was worried that he had already used his fast repair, but looks like he just missed it. Had to go back in, check it, and he's got a brand new front end. So we F1 around here, put a front end on in about 5 seconds, and he's back on the track with a fresh car. So sigh of relief from John, so his championship hopes are still alive. As we go back up front, get ready for this green flag, as we have Jonah Colbert on the front row first, and then you have Steve McDonald to his outside as they're getting ready to go green. Jonah is going to have control of this restart with our second place championship in the championship standings. Lee Dawson behind him. Pace car is going to come out. Got a lot of guys on the inside row who had to come back in and get repairs. Jonah Colbert with a great start. Gets a nice jump on Steve. Going to be able to clear him easily, as Lee Dawson able to get up in front of Philip Nugent. Get up to that top side that's so important. Is Kevin LaPerriere going 3 wide on Philip Nugent. Philip Nugent, hey, I'll just give that up. As James Zanford gets it really, really loose, he's going to try to save it. He does save it off the pace. Going to lose a bunch of positions for that. Got a little nervous about that 3 wide and stayed a little bit too low on those new tires. Going to lose a lot of positions as we see John Honecker going around his outside for 8th place. But Alan Smith, Jason Raychalk going back down pit road. What happened? I don't know what's going on here, if they have some sort of penalties or what, but up and down day for Jason Raychalk. So he's coming back down pit road. But we go back to the battle for the race win, as the top 4, top 5 are all just within a looks like from chat we have a penalty for Max. That may have been whenever. As we see Steve McDonald and Kevin LaPerriere getting into the wall. Guys having to take evasive action. Is Philip Nugent going to look to make it 3 wide as Steve McDonald squeezes down, saying, please don't go 3 wide on me. And but they were able to get it wrapped back up. hopefully no damage as we go back to the front, check in on our second place points. Lee Dawson. See if he's able to make up any ground on, as we've got a crash. Looks like James Davenport still having issues. Oh, and he gets in the wall off the corner. Comes down across the front bumper of Kevin LePerrier, and man, it went from really good to really bad all of a sudden for James Sanford as he gets into the wall. And also Kevin LePerrier, who gets caught up in that, probably has a little bit of damage. We'll check in on him. He's under fire from Nick Passmore. Nick Passmore, just like I thought, making up positions, running a really smart race, getting his bearings back, and he is on the back bumper of Kevin LePerrier for 8th place. You can see a little bit of that front bumper on Kevin LePerrier's car, where James Sanford come across his front bumper. So definitely not going to help. May not, with the damage model, it's kind of a dice roll, whether or not it really hurts your car or not. So we'll see if Kevin's able to make that big ground. Go back to the front to the lead, check on Jonah Colbert. He has got about a second lead over Lee Dawson. Having a great race so far. He's been the fastest car on new tires for sure. But where he's really struggled, it seemed like on that first run, was just at the end of a run, those tires start to fade a little bit, and guys like Scott Tompkins, Lee Dawson, John Honecker were able to run him down. So only about 21 laps to go. So these guys are going to have to find a little speed. You have to run him down as he's still putting a lot of space on him. If we go back here and check, this battle for second place is starting to heat up. It's not good for either of them, really. Scott's going to want to get around Lee. Lee's not going to want to give that position up. But if they get to fighting too hard, that's going to allow Jonah Colbert to get too far out, and neither one of them would be able to catch it. So it's definitely as Scott Tompkins gets really close to the back bumper of Lee. You see Scott get a nice run on him. Is he going to get to his outside? He is. Gets to the outside of Lee. He's going to have that preferred line. Lee's going to fight back on the inside, try to keep Scott from, as he jumps down to the inside, going to try for a slide job. Scott has that run, has it wound up, gets the quarter panel, and he's got the position. Lee's going to have to give it to him on the outside. Let's see how hard Lee fights this, as John Honecker is on his way right behind these guys, about a second back. Lee doing a great job of trying to fight back, keep this position. They're not losing that much time to Jonah, as Jonah may be seeing this and be like, hey, look, I'll just back off a little bit while y'all are fighting. But Scott Tompkins, give him the position. He's up to second. 20 laps to go. Does he have enough time to make up that ground on Jonah? We'll see how much speed he has. We'll keep tabs of the lap times as they go through. He was the fastest car on the track that last lap. About a tenth faster than Jonah. Let's see if he can keep that up for 19 more laps and run down our leader. But Scott did a great job there, making quick work of Lee, not fighting him, trying to get that good run on the outside to give him that position to be able to, get that run, get to the outside so he can make that pass really cleanly and not waste a whole bunch of time. So, because John Honecker is on his way. As Scott goes down to the bottom, Lee's going to get a nice little run off the corner. Scott's going to have to be careful. I don't know what's going on with him. He was the fastest car on the track, but that turn, he had a horrible turn, as Lee's going to give him a little bump draft going down the corner, a little gift, and going to not try to make it a pass on him, knowing that their whole goal right now is to try to run down the leader. So you see these two guys working together. Sometimes, even though you're competitors, you have to work together if you want to try to get a victory, especially with a track where draft and aero mean that much. So these guys definitely showing that they're here to try to win this race. Lee all over the back bumper of Scott. Lee was the fastest car on the track, about a tenth faster than anybody else on the track. John Honaker may have already had some issues burning up the tires trying to get through this field. It's very difficult to make these passes. And so we'll see how much he's got left as we're 17 laps to go, coming to 16. Tom's at the line. Jonah Colbert a 42.2 and Scott Tompkins a 42.1. Also Lee Dawson a 42.1. So they are definitely the two fastest cars running in tandem, trying to run down the leader for this win. Everyone else is pretty well off the pace of these front drivers, so they are putting on a show trying to run down the leader, Jonah Colbert. Are they going to have enough time? As Scott Tompkins putting on a little bit of gap there. As both of them get really, really close to that wall. We'll go on board with Scott Tompkins as we watch. Scott Tompkins about 2/10 slower that last lap. Lee Dawson all over his back bumper, giving him shoves down the straightaway. Lee Dawson going to go ahead and jump down to the inside. Scott may have already burned that right front up. They both got really tight off the corner a couple of laps ago, and that really heats up the right front. And so they may be fading already as they they do a little back and forth, a little shimmy and a shake. And Lee Dawson up to second place. Trade position C. Maybe Lee, do you have anything for him? See if you can go get him. .13 laps to go. Let's go back through the field just a little bit. Let's get some updates on some drivers. John Honaker, our points leader, after having that accident, is back up into the top four, completely solidifying any chance or his place on the top of the leaderboards in the championship. If he finishes here, for sure, no matter what the points are, it doesn't matter. He is going to be our champion. So he is just laying back, knowing that he doesn't really have to do much more than this. So Philip Nugent having a great run, up 8 spots to 5th. Having a great run, had a couple instances in the wall, but been able to recover really nicely, take advantage of some guys' misfortune. Steve McDonald having that track position from that caution flag has been able to maintain that and stay up towards the front as we see James Danford coming by with brand new tires and a brand new car probably. We go back to 7th. Alan Smith running 7th, right where he started, so he's doing a great job of maintaining. He always just wants to finish in the top 10, and that's exactly what he's doing, so a great job. Again, a great run for Nick Passmore as he is running in the 8th position and up 3 spots from where he started, having a great run. Kevin LaPerriere, after this incident, still running in the top 10. Chris Bowler as well, rounding out your top 10. So let's go back up front with about 10 laps to go. And the battle right now is for second place. John Honaker's starting to creep into the picture just a little bit, but these guys have been pretty much nose to tail for the last 10 laps or so. Jonah Colbert able to start to spread the lead out quite a bit, about a tenth faster that last lap. The gap to the front is 1.3 seconds as we see Scott Tompkins going to go back, try to, oh my goodness, and going to get pushed up a little bit as Lee's not going to give it up. Going to hold on to that outside, and while he's doing that, John Honaker is on his way. I think I've said that probably 4 or 5 times. I'm going to stop saying that right now. Is Lee Scott really battling hard for the second place. Lee and Scott really, really good friends, so I know they're going to race each other hard but clean, and they're probably laughing their butts off as they race. So while they're racing, here comes John Honaker coming down to the inside of Scott Tompkins. Going to try to cut him off, run that middle line, but Scott able to roll the middle just fine. John Honaker all the way down to the bottom, trying to find speed, try to get a little bit of run in the middle to push up. Scott gonna have to lift here and lift just a little bit. Scott Tompkins gonna have that preferred group on the outside. While all this is going on, Jonah Colbert out front, about 1.66 seconds, sailing off to victory on the last race of the season, the Scars Busch Series. But a great battle here for second as we're gonna stay here, as this is the best battle on the track for sure. Is unless something happens, unless we get some sort of caution. I don't know if any of these guys can catch Jonah. It would take you 4 or 5 laps to catch Jonah, and another 3 or 4 to even try to attempt to pass him. So, my goodness, we're fighting like hell up here. 3 wide for second place as John Honaker jumps down to the inside. They are 3 wide trying to get second place as Lee jumps in front of Scott. As they go down to the corners side by side, Lee still has the position, still has the advantage. Scott's going to have a little bit of advantage on the outside of John. John not going to be able to complete that pass, most likely. He's still there. He's actually almost to the quarter panel of Lee, but Scott Tompkins giving Lee a shove down the front straightaway, and it now is able to get clear of John, but John fighting back on that inside, going to be about a half a lane up. Scott's really going to have to be careful that he doesn't push up and grab the wall off the corner. But John doing a great job on the bottom, able to find that grip as the high side's been the best place to pass. But John's showing a lot of strength down on the bottom. Honestly, right now, it looks like John Honaker is the better car, so it's just a matter of time for Scott as he's not getting the run off the corner that he really needs. John's been able to get pretty straight away, so. And also way up on the track. That's going to give John Honaker the run he needs. And these guys are putting on great race and a great show. John going to try that inside yet again. Scott Tompkins going to get his nose back to the outside of John. John has to lift that all. Scott's there. He's going to have the position. And John not able to get really anything going. And Scott is now back to the outside of him. That Napa car you see is James Danford. He's currently running 14th, so he's not a factor for the lead, but he is going to be, I hope he'll come up and race these guys. It's about 4 laps to go, and they're going 3 wide here for second place again. They look like they're trying to put on a show for the broadcast. I don't know, but man, this is still exciting. James Danford, get your butt in there, man, making 4 wide. It's Scott Tompkins with a power move in the middle. Was able to clear John, get down in front of him, and has the second place position. He slides up in front of Lee, and now Lee goes to the middle. Lee's going to have the advantage as far as the run off the corner is, wow, John Honaker just spins Lee. As they were putting on a good show, but go back and watch that as watch it from a better camera angle so we know exactly what happened. Why you keep changing the thing? Yeah, it looks like John thought that that Lee was going to give him a little bit more room there, and you know, it's really hard to tell. We'll try to slow it down, see if we can't. Yeah, it looks like John just didn't expect Lee or expected Lee to give him a little bit more room, and he did not. So, little battle there between championship leaders. Definitely don't want to see that towards the end of the race, and I tell you, Jonah Colbert most definitely did not want to see that, as he was pretty much in the wind to take this victory. And now we're going to have a green-white checkered on the last race of the year in the championship race in the finale 150 Auto Club Speedway. So, you know, I didn't really know what to expect tonight, and these guys have put on a show. It's been a really exciting race, so I'll be excited to see how this ending stacks up. You see the leaders, everybody coming down pit road. Nobody's going to try to stay out, hopefully, because new tires are going to make that big a difference. And we see pit road getting real busy. Let's see who has a money stop. Somebody slides through their pit stall. The pit crew on break, having to run back from the bathroom. Who knows what? End up being about a second behind. It could cost you. You see John Honecker coming out of pit road. Don't know if he took 2 tires or what happened there, but he comes out with the lead. Jonah Colbert going to come out behind him. 10-second pit time, so John Honecker is going to try to take, it looks like he took 2 tires. We'll see. Definitely playing the track position game. Hoping for a quick caution. We do 1 green-white checkered, I believe. And so if he's able to get out front, stay out front in just enough time for a caution to come out and get another quick caution, that would be enough. But I would be impressed if he's able to hold off 4 tires with those 2 tires. Look at our field right now. John Honecker in the lead. Jonah Colbert that has pretty much dominated the race so far in second with 4 fresh tires. And everybody behind John Honecker all has 4 tires. Scott Tompkins in third. Alan Smith having a great run up to fourth from 7th after a couple guys had some incidents. Philip Nugent's in the top 5. Steve McDonald 6th. 7th is Nick Passmore. 8th is Scott Sindel. Good job for him to get back in this race after having that sail spin early. Jason Raychuk 9th, and Chris Bowler rounding out your top 10. Kevin Perry one of them. I don't know, they're side by side. But here we go. We're getting ready to go green. Green, white, checkered. Coming down the backstretch, the story right now is, will those tires hold up? Did John make the right call? Is that going to hurt him? It's all going to be how well he gets off the line. Once the green flag comes out, he will control the restart, so he will have that advantage. How important are those tires going to be? And all it takes for someone like Alan Smith, Philip Nugent, Steve McDonald, who have been about mid-pack for a lot of the race, a little bit of mistake from these front runners, and somebody could be grabbing a victory. So they're dead even getting ready for this restart. John Honecker trying to win the race. As we go green, John Honecker gets a great start out front. Scott Tompkins is going to come with him, get a great start as well, and Jonah Colbert comes down and gives a little love tap, a little door to Scott. Scott disappears, having a little bit of blinking issue, but he's going to clear
The yellow
Jonah.
flag is out.
And the caution is out, and that will seal the deal, I believe. Normally we only do one green, white, checkered. We will check to confirm it, but looks like Jason Raychalk gets clipped in the rear end and just turns right into poor Scott Sindel, who, like I said, was had done gotten up quite a few positions, and that brings out our caution. So, and James Danford comes in and gives him a little bit of extra what fur. As they are catching up to the pace car, it shows a white flag, so it looks like we will finish under caution. Great call by John Honecker to, as they are going to really mess up the results here, probably. But who cares? John Honecker, regardless, is still the winner, and he is going to take home the championship as SCAR's Season 6 Busch Series champion, and he is getting some love taps as he burns them down, and that's it. Congratulations, John Honecker. What a great call there at the end to take two tires, get out front, and unfortunately for Jonah Colbert, who had pretty much cleared that race, had that race pretty much won, get that late caution, little pit strategy, and John Honecker comes away with the win. So congratulations to him. We'll have to go back in that running order and see who exactly finished there at the end. We'll go back a couple laps. It looks like our top three is John Honecker, Scott Tompkins, and Jonah Colbert. This is going to be your top three. The results won't show that because some guys were celebrating, congratulating John, messed up the standings, so we won't show those. But that's your top three, so congratulations to them. And we'll go ahead and get these interviews going, get these guys up in here and talk to them and see what they got to say. Start with Jonah Colbert. Hey, Jonah, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Miller. You hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh,
I'm
my
talking.
goodness.
I don't know
I'm
if you can hear
having
me.
issues now. Give me 1 second to get this fixed. All right. Hey, Jonah, well, you pretty much dominated that race, and unfortunately there with about 3 or 4 laps to go, he had a caution. John comes with a little bit of pit strategy of two tires and gets what he needed and gets that caution that ends the race. Kind of talk about your race, how it
Tight setup a little bit there as the run progresses. Pretty loose on cold tires, and then yeah, I just didn't know what line to run early on, and so I burned my stuff up, I think. But then in the second run, Scott started to catch me, and then he was a lot better than me in 1 and 2, and so I was just thinking to myself, well, if Scott's better than me in a corner, do what Scott would do. So I just drove it into one really deep every time and slammed on the brakes and then punched the gas off, and then I started pulling away. So
went.
thanks, Scott, for helping me learn how to run that without even saying anything. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty fun race. I guess I got to racing back there, and I didn't realize I only had one green white checker, so I probably would have took two tires. But that was a smart call. So congrats to John.
Well, all right, man. Well, hey, great season. You missed. You were one race short of being able to compete for the championship, so you were coming out just trying to get that win tonight. How do you feel about going into the next season? We're going into the 87 cars. Do you feel like you're going to be able to compete next season? How you feel?
No idea because nobody's really driven them much. So I mean, I've got a little bit of experience running
I
them
mean,
on
make something
Mondays.
up. Make something up, man. Just
But
make
other
something.
than that, it's yeah, it's going to be a fun car. There's going to be a lot of slinging it around. I think there'll be a lot of cautions next season just from people spinning because they're a handful, and so uh, yeah, pretty excited.
Well, all right, man. Well, great race. Good job on third place. I know you wanted that
Thanks.
win, but still a good run, man.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun.
I saw y'all coming, and then I just stepped on it, and then I fucking hit the wall.
Well, I've just fallen apart towards the end here. Scott Tompkins, Eddie in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Hey, Scott, man. That was a good race, man. You were up front fighting for the lead or second place pretty much the whole race. Yeah, on that restart, you were able to get by Jonah and just you were in the catbird seat to take that win and that caution come out. But talk me through that race. How much fun were you having out there?
Oh, I was having a blast. The first run, Culp was pretty quick off the get go, but on older tires, I was just reeling them in. But then John and Jason were just coming. But once we kind of got the four of us all mixed up together, and actually five with Lee, it was a lot of fun. Pit stops were a little sketchy. Coming out of four, I think all four of us kind of spun coming out. So there was that. But then that last run, Cole just had us smoked. I heated up my right front. I let Lee by to cool it down and try to draft together to catch him, and we weren't. And then that three wide racing with just John and Lee was amazing and fun.
Well, man, congratulations. I mean, with the John taking two tires, you think if it would have gone green there, do you think you would have had something for him?
Oh, I think I had him beat. Four was definitely the way to go. When I got that was the whole goal, was just to get past Kolb and then kind of just run that bottom lane down and really get John to get tight. Come around a four, that was going to be my goal, and I know Kolb was going to kind of throw it in there, but I do feel bad for Kolb. I mean, he had that thing won, but that's racing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, next season we're going into the 87 cars, the old Ford Thunderbird and Chevy Monte Carlo SS. How you feeling about it? Are you getting excited, or you think you're going to do well? How do you feel about next season?
I'm excited. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go Chevy for a change, and I'm gonna run my Tim Richmond scheme. I mean, I think that's how can I run 25 and not be Tim Richmond?
Absolutely.
The car itself, besides the fun races we've done in it, I don't have much practice in. So I'll start getting some practice in them, see how I do. I mean, it can't be as bad as those ARCA cars. I was horrible on those, so that's my bad barometer.
Well, man, congratulations. Great season. Um, and congratulations on the second place finish, man. That was a really fun race to watch. So y'all put on a show.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
All right, our race winner and Scars champion, John Honecker. This is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Oh, I got you, Eddie.
Man, congratulations. Great call there with the two tires to get out front and get that caution and get the win. You didn't need to win, but you still, it sure does make it easier on everything else when you take the victory. Kind of walk me through your race. You had a really up and down race. You forgot to put your fast repair on at one point. Just kind of talk me through the whole thing. It was kind of up and down to be able to come back and get that win. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I obviously I drove up through the field on that opening run. I mean, my tires were used up when we finally got that caution, and yeah, I ended up having that one wreck. I think Daniel and Max got into each other, and then I got kind of sideswiped by Scott and kind of wrecked down into the infield. And it was like 50 seconds of damage, and I was gonna fix it on the pit stop, and then I changed my tires, and I just rolled from my pit stall. I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing that. So I just decided to come back around and use the fast repair, kind of start at the back, and then me, Scott, and Lee had some really, really, really fun racing there at the end, and I went back and watched it. I mean, I was moving up ever so slightly. Lee moved down ever so slightly, and the cars just kind of hooked. Unfortunately, it killed Lee. But then when we got that caution there towards the end, I was like, I guess I'll try two tires and see what happens. I figured all I had to do was make it to turn one or two, and there'd maybe be a wreck. And that's what happened.
Well, man, congratulations. You had a great season. I think this is win number 2 on the season, but you have been the best driver all year and have come away with the championship. So congratulations, man, on winning the championship. Pop a top off a tequila bottle or beer, whatever your choice of alcohol is, and celebrate. You are the champ. And congratulations. Looking forward to the 87 series. Are you looking forward to next season?
I definitely am. I have very, very limited experience in that car, but what I have driven of it is just a load of fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Well, man, congratulations again. Good job tonight. Great win. Great call there at the end to get that victory. And man, go celebrate.
I appreciate it, Eddie.
Well, there you have it. Our race winner and champion, John Honecker, for season 6 of Scars. Another great season. Really had a blast. Looking forward to next season. I think the 87 cars will be sort of an equalizer as they're just so different than any other oval cars. I think even the guys who are fast, that run up front are not. It's really difficult. It's going to take a lot of seat time to really get used to the 87 cars. The setups are really tight. The cars are like tanks. So it's going to take a real wheel man to take advantage of that and and get some wins out there. So I think it will be a lot of fun to watch. I think some guys next season will surprise you on how well they drive those things. All it takes is that car to hit somebody's driving style just right, and they're racing for wins that normally don't. So really excited for next season to get started. Another great race at Auto Club in the finale 150. And I'm Eddie Smith. This is the Scars Broadcasting Network. And y'all have a great night, and thank you for watching.